In this session, we are going to learn about chapter 5, coal and petroleum. And in this chapter, we are going to learn about natural resources and man-made sources, inexhaustible and exhaustible resources, and about exhaustible natural resources such as coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Under coal, we are going to learn about how is coal produced, from where do we get coal, then byproducts of coal such as coke, coal tar, and coal gas. Then about petroleum, we are going to learn about refining of petroleum and various constituents of petroleum. That is, from petroleum, what are the different products we get and about their uses. Then we are going to learn about natural gas. Then important tips to save petrol or diesel while driving. So children, we use various materials in our day-to-day life for our basic needs. We use various materials such as air, water, soil, sunlight, coal, petrol, fruits, vegetables, some animal products, then table, chair, car, bus, etc. And among these materials, if you see, some of them are found in nature and some of them have been made by human efforts. So we can classify what are all the basic materials, what we use to satisfy our basic needs, into two categories such as natural material and man-made material. Here you can see the table which shows the materials what we use in our day-to-day life into two categories, natural material and man-made material. Natural material, example, you can see air, soil, water, sunlight, CNG, that is compressed natural gas, LPG, it is also liquid petroleum gas, coal, petrol, fruits, etc. These come under natural material. Under man-made material, table, chair, car, bus, TV, any plastic items, plastic or rubber, and bed, food, what we make. That is, from the natural sources, we make some food items. So these are all, this comes under man-made material. So resources, whatever we use in our day-to-day life, we classified into natural resources and man-made resources. Natural resources, the resources that are provided by nature, examples, air, water, petroleum, etc. Man-made resources are the resources made by human beings, examples, machines, vehicles, etc. And among these resources, these materials, if you see, some materials like air, water, and soil, can these materials like air, water, and soil be exhausted by human activities? What do you mean by exhausted? Get completed by human activities. So on the basis of availability of various resources that are found in nature, natural resources can be broadly classified into two types, such as inexhaustible natural resources and exhaustible natural resources. Inexhaustible, which will never get complete. Inexhaustible natural resources, that is the resources that are present in unlimited quantity in nature and they never get exhausted by human activities, or you can tell they are not likely to be exhausted by human activities, are called inexhaustible natural resources. And this inexhaustible natural resources, you can, as if they are unlimited quantity, how they present an unlimited, because they are renewable, they can be formed again and again. So they are also called as renewable natural resources. And examples of inexhaustible or renewable, or you can tell non-conventional source of natural resources are sunlight, air, water, etc. Then coming to exhaustible, exhausted, get over, exhaustible natural resources, that is the amount of natural resources that are found in nature which are very limited and which can be exhausted, get over by human activities, are called exhaustible natural resources. Examples of these exhaustible natural resources are forest, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. These are all examples for exhaustible natural resources. And how these exhaustible natural resources are get over? We know that by human activities, these exhaustible natural resources are get over. In order to understand that, let us discuss about one group activity. So if you understand this activity, we can come to know that how this some resources are getting exhausted. So let us see this activity. We have to take some containers and fill them with any eatables, whatever it is available, like popcorn, peanuts, roasted gram, toffees, that is chocolates, etc. Any one you fill with some containers, and we have to divide students into groups of 7 each. That is, each group should have 7 children. And now what we have to do is, further we have to divide each group into 3 subgroups. One group, that is 7 children, 7 students, we have to divide that into 3 subgroups, such that first group contain one child, and second group 2 children, and third group 4 children. So this 3 subgroups we have to divide among each group. And we have to label them as first group, second group, and third. That is first generation, second generation, and third generation. That is first generation, it includes only 1 child. In second generation, there are 2 children. And third generation, there are 4 children. And these subgroups represents consumers. What are consumers? That is those who consume, utilize. And we have to ask the consumers of first generation. First generation, that is first group, they have only 1 student from each group to consume that eatables, to eat that eatables from the containers of their group. Then after they finish, how much they want, it is up to them. The utility of the eatables, it depends upon the consumers. Then we have to ask the second generation of the consumers to come and consume that. Now second generation, we want 2 students. Now if you see that if any eatables are left, then we have to ask third generation from each group to consume it. So from this, what did you understand? From each generation, that whatever the consumer have to, if they think about that next generation, so they will use that limited quantity and they will leave for next generation. So it depends upon the attitude of the consumer. So in the same way, if you assume that these eatables of the container represent the total availability of exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. So coal, petroleum, natural gas, they are very limited, and each group may have different consumption patterns. But earlier generation, though they get more product, if they are too greedy, then they will avail all the resources and they will finish it there only. Then next generation will not get it. So in the same way, if you compare this eatables with that exhaustible natural resources, it depends upon the present generation. So if we think about that next generation, then we have to use them with carefully. And so it is very important to know about the importance of exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum and natural gas. So in this chapter, we will learn about these exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum and natural gas. And if you see that these exhaustible natural resources, they were formed from the dead remains of living organisms. That is, dead remains of living organisms, we call them as fossils. So these exhaustible natural resources formed from dead remains of living organisms, they are also called as fossil fuels. And now about this exhaustible natural resources, we are going to learn about coal, petroleum and natural gas. So first let's start about coal. Have you seen coal, or surely you may have heard about coal, isn't it? How coal looks, it is as hard as stone and is black in color. See, you can see it is so hard like stone and it is black in color. And next now let us study about uses of coal. What are the uses of coal? So coal is one of the important fuels used to cook food. In earlier times, coal is one of the fuels used to cook food. And earlier, it was also used in railway engines to produce steam to run the engine. You may have steam engine. Isn't it? In steam engine, earlier, coal was used to produce steam. And third use, it is also used in thermal power plants to produce electricity. Thermal means heat. How heat is being produced by burning of coal. So that heat is produced, from the heat, electricity is being generated. So in thermal power plant, coal is used to produce electricity. And coal is also used as a fuel in various industries. So these are the various uses of coal. That is, it used to cook food, it is used in steam engine, it is used in thermal power plants to produce electricity, and also it is used as a fuel in various industries. Now let's study about coal, that is story of coal. Where do we get coal from and how is it formed? So about 300 million years ago, the earth had dense forest in low-lying wetland areas. In low-lying wetland areas, there was a dense forest. And due to natural processes like flooding, these forests got buried under the soil. As more soil get deposited over them, they get compressed. And as we get compressed, that is above the forest, there are many layers of soil got deposited and got compressed. And the temperature also increases as we go very deeper and deeper. So now as the many layers of soil get deposited over the forest will be very deep under the soil. So that because of high temperature and high pressure, these dead plants got slowly converted to coal. So the coal now, as it contains mainly carbon, so the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called carbonization. So what is carbonization? It is formation of, that is carbon, isn't it? Carbonization, name only it indicates carbonization. So what do you mean by carbonization? The slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is called as carbonization. And as this coal was formed from the remains of vegetation, It is also called as fossil fuel. Give reason why coal is called as fossil fuel. As coal is formed from the dead remains of vegetation, it is also called as fossil fuel. And now if you see from how do we get it? That is, we get coal is being extracted from coal mine. But you can see in the picture, coal is being extracted from the coal mine. And now, what is that? How when coal, as we know that mainly it contains carbon. So when it is heated in air, that is for anything to burn, oxygen is essential. So when it is burned, when it burns in air, it produces mainly carbon dioxide gas. So it contains carbon. For burning, oxygen is essential. So carbon and oxygen together it forms carbon dioxide gas. And coal is processed in industry to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. So coal, after we extract coal from coal mine, it is being processed in industries to get some more useful products, that is byproducts of coal, such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. But children, what are the byproducts of coal? Coke, coal tar and coal gas. So in next session, we are going to learn in detail about the uses and importance of byproducts of coal, such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. So in this session, we have learned about what are natural resources, what are man-made resources, and about the natural resources are broadly classified into two types, such as inexhaustible natural resources and exhaustible natural resources. Then we have learned about exhaustible natural resources includes coal, petroleum and natural gas. Among this exhaustible natural resources, we have learned about coal, its uses, from where do we get coal and how is it formed.